literally, people do enjoy helping each other. They enjoy lifting each other up. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. There's a lot of people that really get into their self-depreciating humor. They, I find it funny sometimes. A lot of the time, it's honestly kind of a turnoff for me. Just it gets boring at the end of the day. It's at least for me. And I've kind of made the argument sometimes of like to love yourself ironically, but I don't think I've ever really gone into detail with that argument. So let's see if this video can really help me raise myself a little better. I'm going to be checking out this 4-minute video, Love Yourself Ironically. Bethany Levy, I think they pronounce it. Let's see what they have to say. And let's hope it's not too bad on my end. Ah, crap, I forgot.
It's been said before, and I'm sure said better than I can phrase it, but really, if you like making "I'm going to kill myself" jokes, please try switching to being ironically conceited instead. Anytime something goes wrong, say things like, "Ah well, at least I'm beautiful and charming and everyone loves me." When you forget something, try "My big huge brain is so smart and thinking about too many other very big wizardly thoughts you wouldn't even understand." When you're frustrated by one of your symptoms, start talking like you're in My Immortal. "Life has come for me, but my eyes are beautiful pools of gorgeous fire and my hair is amazing. I stuck my middle finger up at life and told it to fuck off, and it did." Just try it for a month or two. Try saying the most absurdly self-congratulatory shit you can think of. I know it's tempting to make suicide or self-harm jokes, and for me, at least a decade ago, when someone suggested I stop making those kinds of jokes, I was kind of at a loss for what to replace them with. I wanted to make light of these moments, but genuinely, at the time, my first thought really was suicidal ideation. There was a part of
That is something that a lot of people struggle with, especially in this trying times post COVID, that they feel that suicidal ideation. They don't really know what to replace it with. So going into the, ironic self-congratulatory thing, at least it's something to replace it with. I assume it'll plant the seeds of like, you know, starting to see yourself in a little bit better of a light. It's kind of what you want at the end of the day. You want to be able to lift people out of these kinds of struggling times, and you don't really lift yourself out of anything by just stewing in it, staying in the same spot, making the same joke over and over.
me that even felt like I was kind of making light of that voice. That if I could say "I want to die, lol," it would help to take the sting out of that genuine, albeit passive, desire. Like I could turn my illness into a joke.
For me, I see it actually a little differently. The taking the sting out of that genuine, albeit passive desire, it's really more of to use humor to convey actual problems. That's the way I tend to use that kind of humor. Though I don't really make those jokes on stream. It's really more of a I like to make those around friends that they know I'm not actually at risk, but like I need to convey I'm struggling somehow.
When I start complimenting myself instead, it felt awkward and stupid. It felt really ironic. What I was actually saying was nobody would ever think this stuff about me. That's what makes it so fucking funny. But
Yeah, like guys just randomly calling themselves a Chad. Or like ironically, I'm such a giga Chad over this ping pong tournament or whatever it is. It honestly doesn't matter. You start small and then it builds and builds and builds, and then you slowly start seeing yourself a little differently. That's kind of what happened with me.
The effect was immediate. First thing I noticed was the people around me. When I dropped a glass and said, "Ah, my skin is too beautiful and sleek, the glass has swooned and broken for me," other people were suddenly overjoyed to jump in with the joke. Rather than making an awkward moment, we'd both start cracking up. "Ah, Princess Sleek Hands, I've heard of you." I was 19. I hadn't noticed.
Interesting. Even if that's anecdotal, here's some situation where you could have totally, oh, I'm such a klutz, whatever, haha, lol, and then it just kind of hangs there awkwardly. But you make it about uplifting somebody, and people are more likely to jump in. We are social creatures, after all.
I've been making others tense when I said, "I want it all to end." I know now that it's incredibly hard to know how to walk that moment. Do you talk to them about your concern? Do you potentially make them uncomfortable by asking if they're okay? Do you ignore the situation? Do you help them pick up the glass, or do they need to do it by themselves? Are they genuinely made suicidal over the small moment? And most importantly, how do you, without professional training or supplies, actually help? Most people
Yeah, there's so many things just run through your head, as explained right there. That how are people supposed to actually respond to what's it? Self-depreciating humor besides some sort of awkward forced response, unless you're actually kind of, hanging out with people that actually are okay with actually making fun of you and actually looking at you in that light. You might want to reassess your friends then.
want to help you pick up the glass in your life. They just have no fucking idea how to do it. They don't want to make anything worse. They don't want to make assumptions about you. They love you. They're scared for you. And being scared makes people kind of freeze up. It's not because they don't love you. It's because they do. Now when something bad happens, my first thought is,
Yeah, like literally, people do enjoy helping each other. They enjoy lifting each other up. But when it's made to, or when your response is to self depreciate yourself, it makes it so much harder for us to be able to, even attempt to try to reach you in some way.
how can I make a stupid joke about this? It isn't my brain saying, "You're a dumb fucking bitch." I spend more time laughing. I spend more time being gentle with myself. I spend more time feeling good. And the thing is, what's kind of funny is that you'd be surprised by how many people agree with you. The first time I said, "I'm too pretty to understand that," someone else said, "To be fair, you're the prettiest person in this room." I promise, you really don't know how kindly your friends see you, but they
That is a solid point. A lot of people just assume that they know what everybody else is thinking. And they just kind of roll with what's in their heads. I don't know what that is actually referring to, Tiberius. But if you can put me on the trail for that, I would be interested in reading that out. Or looking into that in the future. But yeah, a lot of people just assume they know what their friends are thinking about them and just, jump to the conclusions and assume nobody's going to actually play in with those jokes, so to speak. Isn't it Iron Pick? I have no idea.
love you for a reason. They sort of reverse Velveteen Rabbit you. Your weird and ugly spots fade away and you just become the love they want to give you. Go love yourself ironically. The worst thing that happens is that you end up tricking your reflection into actually loving you.
That is kind of what happened with me. Like, I joke, or I made jokes that, I'm hotter than you, or that kind of stuff. And then, like, as time goes on, I'm proven right. The people, the people that actually depreciate me don't show their own faces, so, I mean, I win. Isn't that how it goes? But, yeah, what's the worst that actually does happen if you make positive, ironic jokes about yourself? You might, yeah, trick your reflection into liking you. But what's the worst that happens with self depreciating jokes? You kind of run into a same vicious cycle, so to speak, of seeing yourself in that negative light. And then that's just where you end up staying. You can't get out of that. Not very easily, anyways. Oh, okay, that was the end of that. Good video. Wonder what else they have. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.